I'm Ben, this is Mark. We've had the pleasure, misfortune, bad luck, whatever you want to call it, of knowing Adam for several years now. So before we really get going, may I just say that the formative years we've spent in the company of Adam means that he has had as much of a part in developing our sense of humour as anyone. So although we have tried to make the speech as funny as possible, please blame Adam if it's not. I did always think it was going to be difficult to follow a speech by Adam, and I was right. I couldn't follow a word of it.
It was a huge honour for both of us to be chosen as best men, for 5 minutes anyway. Then panic set in. Anyway, today is a sad day for all men in the world, as another beautiful, charming young woman is taken off the market. For all the women, it's just another Saturday. So as Adam and Sam made their vows, for better or for worse, it's never been so fitting. Adam, you could not have done any better. Sam, you could not have done any worse.
It really is impossible to praise the groom too highly. In fact, while writing this speech, I found it impossible to praise him at all. Personally, having done a couple of these things before, I obviously wanted to find some good, original, new material. So I searched the internet high and low and actually came up with some pretty good stuff. Then I remembered I was supposed to be looking for a speech. As a big football fan, I see that Adam deliberately organised this wedding for the end of the season. Although, of course, being an Arsenal fan, he could have had it whenever he wanted this season. Adam and Sam, you have someone who is absolutely fantastic, who deserves a good husband who will love and cherish her. I just hope that she'll find you a satisfactory alternative. When Adam asked myself and Mark to be best men, we were not only extremely honoured, but quite excited, thinking the speech pretty much writes itself. So if anyone's got around the 3-hour mark in the sweepstake, it could be a lucky day. Although having said that, what else can be said about Adam that hasn't already been plastered over the bathroom walls of every gay bar in Brighton? Well, as Sam enters into married life with the last remaining Watts, we thought there are a few things that she, and indeed all of you, should know about the man she's married. So, we've got a little slideshow for you. Hope you can see it, it's a little bit bright in here. But contrary to what many of you may have thought, Adam was a very cute baby. And I think you might find the resemblance here is still somewhat uncanny. Forever the exhibitionist, Adam was never shy in displaying his mighty wares. Let's keep that on there for a little bit. Can we zoom? As fashions and trends moved on, Adam pretty much stayed put. A keen sportsman, Adam excelled in numerous disciplines. However, as a young boy, swimming was his main passion. He was that good, in fact, he could have actually turned professional. Unfortunately, his ears held him back. Unfortunately now, as arthritis sets in, Adam's sporting prowess is somewhat limited to the golf course. He's quite a good golfer, probably because he gets to hit the ball so much more often than anyone else. Some would say in many ways Adam is stuck in his childhood, none more than with his unhealthy obsession with Harry Potter. An obsession that led to many people referring to him as Addy Watter.
Adam has always liked his women a bit younger. In fact, he decided to stay at college a couple of years longer than most, just to meet more of them. When he finally got his A-levels, Adam did toy with the idea of going to university. But in the end, decided against it. He went to study business at the Southampton Institute, where he came out with a 2-2 after copying his entire dissertation off a classmate. His CV's, there's not many holes in his CV. Is that your boss, Adam? It's not too bad, honestly. Not too many lies in there. That's still me. Shit.
Fine.
Adam has always enjoyed the odd night out in Eastbourne. In fact, I had my first conversation with him in one of the town's finest hotspots, Tuxedo Junction, where he begged to move in with me. Against popular opinion and advice, I said yes. What a fool. Instantly, I knew I'd made a massive mistake when our flat was turned into an open bar, which Adam dubbed the Pussy Wagon. In his 20s, and I'm certain he still does, Adam must have suffered with some sort of bowel condition, which subsequently led to the development of the infamous What's His Log. This basically involved marking pub toilets in Eastbourne out of 10. As of March 2007, the Dolphin topped the chart with what he called a solid 8.5.
I personally have had the pleasure of being on many a lad's excursion with Adam. Torremolinos, Amsterdam, Latvia, and Magaluf. 3 times now. With rippling biceps and a bronze body to die for, Adam would always show up poolside when he was in his tiny swim shorts. Sexy. In 2009, myself, Mark and Jacko celebrated Adam's 30th birthday by embarking on one of Mark's magical mystery tours, taking on Hamburg, Berlin and Copenhagen in 3 days. Experiencing the cultural hotspots of Scandinavia, to sampling traditional German costume. Adam, by the way. Adam celebrated his milestone in style. In fact, Sam, as a result of this particular trip, things may have been very different, and we may not have had this wedding at all. Adam did actually meet someone on this trip whom he became very fond of, but he soon realised it was nothing more than a holiday fling. We'll move on. Adam has had a rather checkered career path to lead him to where he is today. He's dabbled in numerous professions before deciding on... What is it you're doing again? Okay, good. His jobs have ranged from the Hasselhoff of the David Lloyd Club to resident DIY expert at Do It All, to what was perhaps his finest hour as Mark's apprentice. A job from which he had to be let go for reasons that really can't be discussed here. Adam then became an analyst. Sorry, analyst. Typo, sorry, Adam. For the County Council and then for the East Sussex Fire Brigade. Although on many a night out he did go under the guise of a fully fledged firefighter to impress the ladies and get into some Eastbourne's finest hotspots for free. Joking aside, Adam is doing very well in his professional career now, and Sammy assures me that the money will start rolling in any time soon. Okay, so Adam's touched on this already, but how did these beautiful people first meet? Adam first met Sam in Melbourne, Australia. Sam was there working as a nanny, and Adam was there with his girlfriend at the time. We'll talk about. Ashamed of his natural roots and in a vain attempt to make out to Sam that he was more hip than he actually was, he told Sam he was from Brighton, not Eastbourne. For obvious reasons, not much else happened at that time. However, email addresses and Facebook details were exchanged. Naughty Adam. About 6 months later, when Adam was single, he sent Sam a Facebook message referring to a fancy dress party that they'd been at, and I quote, "You looked hot dressed as Lara Croft."
Their first official date was in the summer of 2008. Adam invited Sam up to London. Sam stayed over. Naughty Adam. Naughty Sam. Naughty both of you. And woke up with what she called a sickness bug. It was not a hangover. That morning on Sam's way home on the tube, she passed out, was sick in her hair, and was caught by Adam as she was about to knock herself out on the glass partition. Neither put off by this, they saw each other most weekends, and now here we all are.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Amazing.
Okay, so finally, again, Adam's touched on this, we come to the stag do. There we are. Well, what can we say? We went big.
Yes. Do it. How well, Jacko?
You've got one.
Can't see anything.
Jacko's got mine.
Okay, and however, in fairness, we did agree with Adam before we would do this speech. What goes on tour goes in the best man speech. So here we go. I would just like to take this opportunity again to thank all the guys who came to Mallorca and made it such a good long weekend / week, or whatever it was. Put it into one.
A month.
Yeah, absolutely.
When the vets and the youth club collide, there's only going to be one outcome. To be honest, what's £1,000 deposit between mates?
Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
The finer details of what exactly happened cannot be divulged for obvious reasons, but one of the biggest difficulties we actually had on the stag was trying to make Adam more camp than he actually was. We gave it a bloody good try though. On fire.
Gorgeous.
You got a shot of that, Eloise.
Let's hold on to that one. It is.
Disgusting. Now, as much as all of you guys deserve a medal each for being part of the epic 4-day drinkathon, we have a few specific awards that we would just quickly like to hand out. And they are as follows. Okay, our first accolade is for the best stag injury. This award goes to a man mountain, an extreme sports enthusiast who rides powerful motorbikes and whose body is a temple. So how fitting was it that this man broke his foot playing ping pong? The award for best stag injury goes to Elliot Page.
Take him, Atkins, take him! Come at him, folks.
Our second award, Sexiest Male. Believe it or not,
Here I come.
this is the easiest decision we have ever made in our lives. The Sexiest Male Award goes to the KMG.
I want a recount.
MG, can you just reenact the pose for us?
One time.
Take your clothes off.
Yes. Have you got Calvin's?
Beautiful.
The title of undefeated doubles tennis champions were, of course, Jacko. I believe we have video footage of the final match point. You got it, Ben?
It's here somewhere.
Oh my god.
Is it the video or just a picture?
Have we got a picture? At
Guys,
least?
video would be
Got a
great.
pic- Jacko,
Come up anyway. You've got to do a shot.
did you want the picture or the video, Jacko?
Video! Video!
Seriously, it's not on
We
there.
can't seem to find it.
We'll pull it out later,
It's quite fortunate.
as it were.
This shows a lot of pinks, a lot of Jacko. Don't worry, it's not a Jacko.
Man, Jacko, I've got to take one for that. It's your partner.
Good night, Jacko.
Okay.
You're my hero.
The final award goes for Best Stagger. This was extremely difficult to call, as I say, each and every one of you were in the shout. After much deliberation, we decided to give the honour to a man who kept his cool when everyone else around them were losing theirs. A man who, despite his years, was probably the most mature person on tour. Unfortunately, he's unable to be here at the moment because he's preparing for the match of his life at Wimbledon tomorrow. He will be making an appearance, he promises, later tonight, and that man is Harry! Mark will take his prize.
That's it. It's my nephew. Cheers.
Djokovic.
Just
Oh
to
God, that's my nephew.
Very small.
Bless him. How are you doing for time?
Carry on.
Get rid of
5 more
that.
minutes.
Okay, as we start to draw proceedings to a close, thank God I hear you all say, there are a few things we just really haven't had time to talk about, and we'll just really skim over them very, very quickly. Like the time when I first went to Magaluf with Adam in 2004 and he shaved his private area into what could only be described as a modern day Brazilian.
The time I found Adam's adult movie in my DVD player, along with his belt on the floor next to my bed. Or when Adam smashed a bottle of Courvoisier over someone's head so it would pour quicker.
It used to be fun.
And finally, what exactly was done with his new toothbrush on the stag do. Okay, Adam, we'll come on to a few more serious things. There are a few messages from people who could be here, mainly on the other side of the world.
All on the other side of the world.
All on the other side of the world, yeah. Australia is the other side of the world, isn't it? And we'll just go through them now. I've got one on my phone. The first one was from Stuart Goods. He just said he'd like to say hi to everyone. Would like to congratulate Sam and Adam and wish them all the best for the future. He'll be thinking of everyone there, and he says the worst thing about being in New Zealand is missing everyone back home. It's quite nice.
I've got quite a short one. It says, and a message. Bosworth. He says, and I quote, I didn't even know you were engaged. That was it, end quote.
They unpackaged his
We've also
and glued it back.
got
Use super glue to
a
shut
few messages from your, sorry, I'm not going through it all again. Your many celebrity lookalikes who left a very brief message for you, just saying,
I've got it.
and all the best. Have you got it now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just go through them one by one. Alex Reid sends his regards and wishes you all the best for the future. Bruno Mars. Alan Smith, formerly of Newcastle and Leeds United, sends his best. Will Young says hello. Lieutenant Gruber from LOLO. And finally Louis Spence, who I know is a good friend of yours, Adam.
Finally, we have a last message. It's from a family member who lives in Sydney, Doug, Oliver and family. They've sent us a video to play for you. If Adam can...
Okay. Adam and Sam. Guys, we just wanted to leave you a video message. We're so happy for you, and we wish you all of the happiness in the world from the bottom of our hearts. It wasn't so long ago that, Adam, you were a bit of a lost sheep and travelling around the world, doing a bit of labouring and all those sorts of things. Yeah, then in true Watts fashion, you landed on your feet, and you're now a qualified quantity surveyor. You've met a wonderful woman, and you're getting married. Well done, mate. Top marks.